Well, hello everyone. Here to show you the Big Bird. Big Bird. Step three coloring right here. As you got right here is you would talk about Big Bird, and talking about is like maybe the jobs that you want to do, and then of course one of those jobs you say that talking about with technology, and talking about between it's like step up two is like talking about with the magic jack and along with the wireless adapter. But then of course this idea right here came right here is for the written cousin, is basically talking about right here is like that anything that you can talk about, you say in class, it is talking about is that you have right here is that between back in the old days where they used to write notes, but write letters to each other. But so far as operation goes, is you're talking about is like how something works. It's like about the study of it, the study about how this new product or whatever you say is like how it works and stuff. But basically, is you have right here is talking about is like for a written cousin. And I went ahead and drew this right here, this little frog. It's like frogs, which I remember that whenever I was a kid, that I used to like to play with them a lot of times. Of course, it gave you say irritated skin and stuff and such. But other than that, yeah, right here it's like you got the frog, and with this frog right here, is it talking about it's like leaps. It's like that anything that I used to always think about is like jokes. Jokes is like that if you were to some people would probably say that if you were to have a number of phones around the house, that a lot of times that you could probably think about is that really if you're going to have a number of remotes around the house, how do you keep track of them, or how do you know where they are? And then of course they say, well, we can always page it. But other than that you have right here is you get the frog right here, and you say you have right for the little key finder, whatever it is that you would be able to buy nowadays in the store. That would it would beep after about a few claps from your hands, say you hand motion or whatever. But anyway, you got right here is for the written cousin, is like a little device kind of like this that it plugs into a computer. It is, and where you can maybe you say it may not be on a headset. It is, but of course it could be like a maybe a device maybe the size of this pen right here. Is that something that you were trained to work with for nearly 20 years. Is you have right here at the top right here, which you say is like it blinks a variety of colors. It's like yellow, blue, and red. Just to verify that there is a connection. And you have maybe not buttons. Maybe in the next 20 years from now that you may not have buttons, but you may have like what you call little motion features. It's like your little motion features that you would put your hand like this. You would position it like this. It's like if you want to make a phone call, or if you want to write a letter, or as to say for any other purposes, present, and you're offered different options. And then the tip right here, of course, could be is like for maybe for say it's like your plan for the day, your daily schedule, whatever it is. What you got right here is talking about is that with the way the technology is that a lot of people probably say that really anything that don't work the way you want it to work, more likely is considered is a dumb watch. And what is a dumb watch? Is it's a watch that don't work the way you want it to work, or it don't work at all. So that's why it's considered a dumb watch. But other than that, it's like I remember that it's like my dad, or say my uncle or whoever would probably think about is like anything that plugs into a computer, which more likely be cool. And the way I think about it is like whenever they say that, it's like, well, really, it's like if there was like any type of a lighter or anything like that, coffee maker that plugs into the computer, more likely there may be what you call a safety guard to that also. But other than that, it's like you're talking about, it's like how does this written cousin work? Is by is that how does it work? Well, one, it's like, well, it don't really hop. See that a lot of times when people pick frogs up, that it's like it's about to pick them up, and then they then they hop around, whatever it is. But you have right here is talking about is that with a written cousin. It's like a little device, and you could probably think about is that the idea that I came up with is that anything, well, I guess wireless, anything that don't have to require steps 1, 2, and 3, or maybe steps 4 and 5, and so is knowing about is something that works kind of like a pencil, to where that anything that we guide is like if you anything that operated. Anything that worked just by the motion of your hand, or maybe just by the tone of your voice, saying you'll say for call say call a friend or something like that. You say for call a friend. See call a friend or call auto shop. So you have right here is see your call auto shop. But you say have a call for auto shop, or maybe program. You'll program this number and say such and such, and it's like the menu options between 1 and 5 or whatever you call it. That more likely, if you want to program the number to be such and such, and then more likely it's like be able to look it up for you and be able to know about what the numbers are. And then it's like knowing about how many numbers do you have listed on there, and then so far as for the written cousin. But other than that, is that you got right here is, and more likely it would maybe look like this. It plugs into the computer, and that more likely that you could probably think about is like anything that you buy or given or anything like that. If it don't work the way you want it to work, then more likely that you could probably also consider it is like it's a dumb watch. But if it works the way you want it to work, then more likely it's what you call expert Adidas champion or something like that. But other than that, it's like you have a Big Bird. So if I have Big Bird and step 3 coloring.